Aries 2026, all planets, moving signs, changing signs. What does this mean for you? What does this mean for everybody? This is specifically for Aries rising, Aries moon, Aries sun too, right? Because in 2026, we have all planets, forward momentum, new signs, new houses, all of the things. Let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about how Saturn will be moving and taking up residency in the first house, the house of you, during the major part of 2026, starting from around February the 13th. You already had a taste of this in 2025, but Saturn will now be entering into your home sign, the first house, the house of you, Aries, 13th of February, where it will take up space for the next few years, asking you to get serious, get deep. When we have Saturn transiting, whichever house it sits in, it's going to bring you a new set of experiences, a new set of lessons, blessings, karmic stories to unfold, and somewhere where Saturn is asking you to do the work. And so for you, Saturn going through the first house will be asking you to do the work on you. Moving from your 12th house, where you would have felt isolation from your peer groups, your friendship circles, from people around you. When we have Saturn going through the 12th house, as it's been through Pisces, there would have been a lot of emphasis on your mental wellness, your mental health, how you show up, how you correlate to your peoples, right? And we're going back from the 12th house into the first house of you. So it's like I am now finding my power, my voice, my strength. The themes of isolation and going it alone are very Saturnian. And so over the next few years during this transit, Saturn is asking you to stand in your power, to stand in what you believe in, who am I? The first house is all about you, and actually it's about, sometimes the first house isn't seen by yourself because it's what you project out into the world. However, this is the face, this is the body, this is about you, yeah? And Saturn in the first house, you may, if we start to speak about, the physical, we could say that Saturn in the first, this would be a great time for you to work on your appearance, how you come across, how you look, right? You may decide to change your look, and Saturn is about maturity, so it's about being mature. That does not mean you're not going to have fun, because you have so much amazing stuff going on regarding your houses of fun, which I'll get into in a moment. But Saturn in the first house is about getting serious. And so actually, when we talk about physicality of it, you may work on your teeth. You may decide to get, what are they called? Everyone's having at the moment, aligners. You may have aligners, you may have dental work done, because Saturn rules teeth and bone structure as well, right? So you might have something where you want to focus on your teeth. And with Saturn transit in the first house, when you work, this is like an ancient astrology remedy. When you work on your teeth and your bone structure, this will pay huge dividends when it comes to prosperity and abundance too. But ultimately, when Saturn is transiting the first house, this is about you showing up for you and becoming serious. You may decide to dress more mature, become to be a person of authority. You will come across with Saturn in the first house, whether you want to or not, become a voice of power. There's the element of respect with Saturn in the first house that you will automatically command. The caveat to Saturn in the first, right, the transit, is that even though you will command and demand own respect, there'll be a lot of elements of working on self-belief and self-doubt, because Saturn can cause us to face our limiting beliefs. And as it's transiting back from the 12th to the 1st, doing the work on self-belief, self-confidence, self-worth, releasing limiting beliefs around being worthy of and deserving of anything of that which I want. Right, whether that be, am I worthy and deserving of love? Am I worthy and deserving of abundance, wealth, the job, the house, the relationship, whatever it is? Saturn is like during the next uh, a few years this transit, asking you to not only do the work but show up and act as if that person who you are born to be, right? Saturn can bring limitations and blockages and challenges, right? This is going to be opposing your seventh house, square your 10th house, and your fourth house too. When any planets are transiting like an angular house, the angular houses being the fourth, the first, the fourth, the seventh, the 10th, right? These are going to cause squares, oppositions to the rest of the chart. They're quite, they're really pivotal. Is the right word? Pivotal houses, right? And these are action houses sparking us to transform, grow, and change through contrast, through opportunity. Okay, so relationships that are no longer serving you, they will be brought to the forefront because you will be looking at your relationship with a telescope, with a fine comb telescope as to, okay, is this relationship serving me? You may feel like you are expanding and maturing and growing to the person you're born to be, and with that, you may be letting go of outdated beliefs around love and romance, around relationships. It could be the opposite too, where you will solidify and take the relationship to the next level. You know, because this is an opposition to the seventh house. This could be that you may meet somebody and they will be a teacher, a learning curve for you. There could be an opportunity where you will take the relationship to the next level, and you may consummate their marriage, consummate the relationship. Is that the right word? As I'm saying, I'm thinking consummate the marriage. That's not right. That's not the right word. So, for example, if you're dating someone, you may decide to move in with them. You may decide to get engaged. You may marry. Right? I do find Saturn in the first house, because Saturn brings responsibility, right? Now can be one of the transits which can denote pregnancy as well, okay? Because this is like a responsibility, you know what I mean? So of course there are many other things in the chart that we have to look at, but there are a few other indicators this year for Aries risings when we look at the fifth house, and I'll talk about that in a moment, okay? Regarding pregnancy transits. But not only that, it's about giving birth to. You re-emerging, becoming who you're born to be. So you are shedding skin, you are stepping into your power with Saturn, you're stepping into your confidence, you are moving forward with strength, you are owning and claiming who you are meant to be, okay? Someone of power, you are gonna have to work and do the work. Saturn wants you to do the work on you. So during this transit, which is going to be lasting over the next few years, this is asking you to do the work on you. Show up for you, show up for your goals, work on you. You may because this is going to form a T-square to your 10th house and your 4th house. There can be relocation, there can be job changes. Ultimately, you are going to be doing the work on stepping into and evolving into the person you are born to be when it comes to how you show up in relationships, the work that you do, the career you embody, how you're seen by others, where you live, and your family story too. So there's quite a big transit because it is an angular house. It's going to be affecting the house of home and the house of your career as well, how you show up too. So there are going to be challenging obstacles for you to work through. Ultimately, Saturn will bring you the biggest blessings if you are prepared to do the work. So let's talk about, and that'll be, I think I already mentioned, that'll be starting from February. This will be solidifying from February. You're already starting to feel the effects. You would have started to feel the effects in 2025 already when we had the brief visit from Saturn already. And joining the story for you will be Neptune in the first house too, starting in January. From the 26th, the ingress starts, okay? And Neptune is also going to be sitting in the first house, the house of you. Aries, 2026 is a huge, pivotal, transformational year for you, more than any you've ever seen, because you have so many planets in the first house. And also remember that these are long transits. So these changes will not be happening overnight for you. They are something you have. The Saturn ones, yes, quicker than Neptune, because Neptune is going to be here for a minute. All right, for a minute. This is a long transit. Starting from January 26th. We've already had a taste of this in 2025. Neptune is dissolving boundaries. Neptune is dissolving. It's gone from the 12th house of your spirituality, of your mental wellness, of you retreating, and now it's stepping into the first house and you asking you to dissolve boundaries when it comes to outdated, limiting beliefs about yourself. Neptune will be dissolving boundaries around relationships too. With this transit, I would say that I would watch out for and look out for seeing people with rose tinted glasses, because you are having an opposition to the seventh house. And so when you have an opposition, especially from Neptune from the seventh house, you may attract lovers who are, they have a lot of baggage, or they can be what I call fixer uppers, and it's about first of all, no one has to be perfect because no one's perfect, right? So it's accepting people at face value. This is about taking off the rose tinted glasses, because you may find just this year, actually, if you're not already in an established bond, you may fall for somebody and you're like, yeah, red flags, don't see those, you know what I mean? So there could be a lot of instances and situations where you'll be meeting people who have a lot of stuff going on themselves during this transit. Ultimately, Neptune in the first house is about dissolving all blocks that you have around spirituality. This is about inviting in spirituality. And also, Neptune in the first house can be, because when we look at the positive aspects of Neptune, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. And so when we have a first, seventh house energy going on, right, again, you will be having T-squares to your career house, your public persona house, and your home, the house of home, to and family. You may meet somebody who's life-changing. Like, this can be like soulmate type energy and soulmate relationship. When we have this energy, just know that, tied in with karmic soul lovers and relationships, there are going to be its own set of challenges and obstacles too, because we are here to ride the waves of obstacles, of challenge, of plot twists, so we can evolve and grow the soul, because we are here on this soul journey. And Neptune is about embodying the soul's journey, riding the wave, and attracting those types of people who are going to help us through situation, through challenge, through love, through romance, through lessons and blessings, to help us evolve upon our soul journey, inviting you to call in spirituality, however that may look for you, into your everyday life as well. And you may get more creative when it comes to your appearance as well. This is the first house, after all, so you may get creative with your appearance, experimenting with your hair, experimenting with your look, because this rules the face of the body. You may invite more creativity into your day-to-day life. So, especially if you're a creative person or an artist, or you may not be, and all of a sudden you may be like, you know what, I want to take that dance class I always wanted to do. I want to have regular therapy sessions. I want to start painting. I want to do art therapy. I want to become a therapist. All this sort of stuff will happen when we have this transit going through the first house. This is the soul's evolution with Neptune being here. With Neptune going through the first house, this is one of the transits where I would say, especially with Saturn here too, where the transit is asking you to take better care of your health. And so that would be looking after your health, eating right, taking your supplements, drinking water, working out more. Saturn likes routines, right? And Neptune is one of the planets which rules the house of health and mental wellness as well. So this is about, okay, this is an example, I'm going to wake up early in the morning and meditate. I'm going to eat better. When I had a similar transit, I became vegan, for example. These are the things that can happen when Neptune transits the first house, okay? And then you may, because Neptune wants to dissolve, again, with Saturn being here as well, this is a huge transit, remember. This is going to happen over a couple of decades. So let's talk about that. We're going to have some transformation and changes around where we live, and our career as well, So if something is not sitting right with you anymore and you have the urge and the feeling to, Neptune will dissolve old stories, limited beliefs around where we live, old family lineages, family ties, and our home life, as well as our career too. So there's a huge change. Like I said, 2026 is a year of massive, massive changes. You've already started to feel this during 2025, and 2026 is the start of the new chapter and the new cycle. So let's talk about also Jupiter. Jupiter will be moving from your fourth house to your fifth house, okay? And for you, Aries, this will be going into your fifth house. And the fifth house is all about your fun, creativity, children, pregnancy, good luck and good fortune, sex, dating, artistry, romance, inner child healing, all that stuff. And so we've had Jupiter transit in the fourth house. So when you felt this already over 2025 and halfway through 2026, because the ingress of Jupiter into Leo for you will start in July, okay? And it'll be there for a whole year. So this will go from July 26 all the way from June 27, okay? 2027. And this will be all about how you can embody having fun, right? Having more fun. The fifth house is all about fun and joy. Jupiter expands and loves to bring joy, the greater benefic in the sky, in the house of fun. With Neptune being in the first house too, I would like to suggest that yes, it's great to have a good time. Jupiter can sometimes have us being excessive, Neptune excessive too, when it comes to things like overeating, over drinking, substance abuse, all that stuff, you know. So be very mindful of that. However, Jupiter in the fifth house is saying to you, girl, it's time to have fun, let loose. If you're single, this is an incredible time to be dating, meeting people, having fun, going out, being seen, right? Because the fifth house rules casual dating, so there could be an abundance of lovers for you. The fifth house also rules good luck and good fortune. This is a great time to call in luck and abundance when it comes to wealth, money, prosperity. The fifth house also rules entrepreneurship. So if you are thinking about, you know, starting a business or a side hustle, this would be a great energy to do that. If you already are someone who has their own business, an entrepreneur, creative, an artist, this is a fantastic transit for you to expand upon your business, to expand upon your creativity. You may find that you'll be feeling more creative. You do have Neptune in the first house as well, like making a trine to this aspect as well. And so your creativity is unlocked, your spirituality is unlocked. You may want to be singing, dancing, painting. However creativity looks for you, you'll be doing more of that and you'll be wanting to do more of that as well. Love will be in abundance, creativity will be in abundance. If you're already in an established bond, you guys will be having so much fun together. This is a great blessing for that. The fifth house is one of the houses which can rule pregnancy too. And so when I see Jupiter transiting the fifth house, depending on your personal planets, of course, always look at the natal chart. The fifth house transit to Jupiter does bring pregnancy, right? So we have a few things going on here. We have Saturn in the first house, we have Jupiter in the fifth house, Aries rising. This is these are great fertility transits. Okay, Neptune in the first house can go either way with that as well, because Neptune does rule health, and does rule health as well. So and there is that too. Okay, so yeah, these are all children. If you are this way inclined, I think that when Jupiter is going through the fifth house, is a fantastic time to honor your inner child too. So what is it that lights me up? What do I want to do? What can I do for fun that lights me up? As opposed to, okay, Saturn into the first house, I need to get serious about my life, get my ducks in a row, get my BS together. Jupiter was like, yep, I want you to do that too. But however, we are human beings. We're here to have fun, to have a human experience. How can I invite more play, more joy, more passion, more sex, more romance, more love into my life? That doesn't have to be through other people. How can I give myself and embody that more too? Okay. Alrighty, so let's talk about a couple more things before we move forward. Uranus. Uranus will go back into Gemini and take up space in your third house from April 2026. It's going to be here for a minute. I love Uranus in the third house. I think this is a sign of genius, flash inspiration. Uranus going back into the third house for you and staying here for a hot minute. It's great for short distance travel. You may be going on loads of like, I find Uranus in the third house is great for booking loads of like short distance trips. So it could be like, for me, for example, I class short distance travel as either driving around an hour or two here, there, but basically the third house is your local surroundings. So you'll be really busy in that field as well, going from appointment to appointment here, there, everywhere, being very social within your community, being seen, but also I class this as short travel flights too as well, right? And so you may find Uranus, Uranus ruling planes in the side of the third house, you'll be catching more flights. You'll be having genius inspiration, flashes of ideas, right? You want to be communicating, expressing more. Okay, Uranus in the third house is great for showcasing your talent, showcasing your skill, learning new skills too, and just being seen and known for your mind and your communication skills. I always find Uranus in the third house, and depending on the sign, of course, right, is great for inspiring information and downloads from the universe, speaking to and connecting to spirit guides, connecting to your angels, and also having aha moments and like brainwave ideas. You're going to be thinking and feeling with clarity. You may be more restless as well. This is a great time to over the transit is to work on your mental health and mental wellness, because Uranus can have us receiving so much energy information really quickly that we need to regulate our nervous system and also practice mindfulness too. So to balance this energy out of receiving so much information, it's like having 10,000 browsers open and downloading. So your mind's like a computer when it's like this. It's about regulating that nervous system too. All right. You may attract more friendships who are, who are not your usual type. Uranus, one of the modern day ruler of Aquarius, attracting either Aquarian type people or people who you're going to learn from, or people who are just eccentric or different from you two. All right, because the third house is one of the houses which rules your friends. Meeting them in your surrounding areas too. You may change cars, you may move homes, and just know that there's gonna be a lot of disruption in your day-to-day life because there's gonna be a lot of new things going on for you. And one of the big things I want to talk about is the Pluto sitting in the 11th house. As we start the year, Pluto will already be in Aquarius, and for you it's your 11th house, transforming your friendship circles, transforming and cutting ties with anyone or anything. And this is going to be very key themes. Is about letting go of outdated systems when it comes to friendship circles, outdated beliefs around your biggest goals, dreams, and desires. Because the 11th house also rules your. I like to say the 11th house can be like your long-term goals and plans, right? So it's like your 10-year plan, for example. So this is about, what do I want to manifest? What are my dreams? What is my life purpose? Pluto is about going big, going hard, and shedding and transforming. You may join new circles and new groups over this transit, over a decade of this transit. You're going to be meeting people who are going to change the trajectory of your life path. Who are going to help you receive and achieve your biggest goals, dreams, and desires during this transit. Not only that, the eclipse axis will move into Aquarius and Leo, and this will be happening from July when the nodes change axis. And so for you, the eclipses, wherever you have eclipses in your birth charts, you'll have karmic beginnings and endings. And for you, this will be happening from July onwards in the 5th and the 11th house, transforming your friendship group, transforming the people that you call your lovers, what you do for fun, what you want to manifest, your biggest goals, dreams, and desires, how you make money, how you achieve that, and your beliefs around that too.